Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Before we head into your news in detail, here's a look at the headlines for tonight.
Draft bill on the 20th Amendment before Cabinet.
අද විශේෂ කැබිනට් මණ්ඩල රැස්වීමේ වෙන කිසිදු කැබිනට් පත්‍රිකාවක් නැහැ. අද කැබිනට් මණ්ඩල රැස්වීමේ තිබෙන්නේ 20 වෙනි සංශෝධනය සම්මත කර ගැනීම පමණයි.
Mayor of Kaduwala comments on cartels in the SLFP. Southern Province Minister Devi Uppal arrested and remanded. Namal Rajapaksa summoned to the CID. Senseless road accident involving a backhoe claims alive.
On to your top story this evening. President Maithripala Sirisena has said that the only matter that will be taken up at the special cabinet meeting this evening is the 20th Amendment to the Constitution. The President made this statement during an address at a rally held in Colombo today.
This rally, organised under the theme Let's Abolish the Preferential Voting System, past the 20th Amendment, was held at the Vihara Mahadevi Park in Colombo. Sri Lanka Freedom Party MPs and a large number of supporters were present at the occasion.
The current electoral system is only suitable for the multimillionaires who have a lot of wealth. Political values are irrelevant in the system. The preferential voting system enables those who have money to come into parliament very easily. I did not spend even 100,000 rupees to become victorious in the election of 1989. Everyone needs to question their conscience regarding the importance of this electoral system. If there is any person who is trying to pull this back, disregard it, reject it or postpone it, then we can only identify such actions as a total betrayal of the people. Why did the Sri Lanka Freedom Party decide to convene this rally under the theme Adopt the 20th Amendment? It must be made clear to the people who wants to adopt the 20th Amendment and who is against it. We can see efforts in certain areas to pull this back. I appeal to all political parties represented in Parliament. I make a respectful request. Just as the SLFP has come onto the stage before the people and said that the 20th Amendment will be adopted, all political parties represented in Parliament must come before the people and say within the next week or two whether they are for or against the 20th Amendment and whether they will adopt it. That is my request to them. No cabinet papers will be taken up at the special cabinet meeting today. I say to you that the only matter before cabinet today is adoption of the 20th Amendment.
20 වෙනි සංශෝධනය සම්මත කර ගැනීම පමණයි කියන එක මම තමුන්නාන්සලාට විශේෂයෙන් සඳහන් කරන්නට ඕනේ. තව අවුරුදු 10ක් මේ කාලකන්ණි මැතිවරණ කමිටුවක්.
If this wasteful electoral system continues for another 10 years, the entire parliament will comprise of businessmen. The Mudalali and his son. Now the 20th Amendment has come and they were toying around with it. Some are waving green flags and saying that they support this. But what are they actually doing? They are trying to trip it up. We are used to this political chess game. Another group is waving red flags. All of them are in favor of abolishing the executive presidency. But that was because it was the curtailing of someone else's powers and not theirs. When it comes to the 20th Amendment, which curtails their powers, it is a little difficult for these parties. They say various nonsense.
Venerable Madhuluave Sobhitathera, the chairman of the People's Movement for a Just Society, says a new mandate must be obtained in order to resolve political problems that have arisen.
Venerable Madhuluave Sobhitathera made this statement today following a meeting with the chief prelate of the Askiri chapter, the Most Venerable Kalagama Sri Attadasithera, at the Askiri Vihara in Kandy today. Venerable Dr. Belangwila Vimla Ratanathera and the chief prelate of the Kotte chapter, Most Venerable Ittapane Dhammalankarathera, were also present at the meeting. The government has a minority number of MPs. The opposition has more MPs. Thereby, this government cannot continue. Why? There is too much air in one tire and the other tire has too little air. So how can we journey forward? So if we can pump in the air as soon as possible, we can embark on a good journey. Now there are no confidence motion. Think about how much the president's proposed electoral system was denigrated. We were unable to achieve what we hoped for. At present we cannot even get a parliament select committee appointed. In order to stop these interferences, we must immediately hold fresh elections.
Opposition representatives noted at a media briefing convened today that they would exert pressure to ensure the no-confidence motion against the Prime Minister is taken up for debate in Parliament.
The no-confidence motion against Ranil Wickremesinghe has been submitted, but it is yet to be included in the agenda. As per Parliament operations, it takes about 5 to 6 days to be included in the agenda. The UPFA group meeting will be held tomorrow under the auspices of His Excellency the President. We will hold extensive discussions tomorrow on the no-confidence motion, the 20th Amendment and the time frame in which this will be presented.
They're
talking about impeachments and breach of trust. Look at the faces of the people who are talking. A group of political frogs who jump to and fro are talking about a no-confidence motion today. Various persons who are nourished through the casino and drug business are using various conspiracies today to try and defeat this government, depriving the people of the opportunity for good governance that was voted for by 6.2 million people. Are we going to let these political animals from a bygone era take power of government in this country once again? The people must decide. While 112 of the 125 MPs have signed the motion, it must be stated that 2 of the MPs who signed are in hospital. Another 2 are in remand custody and their signatures were not obtained. No MP can say that their signatures were forged. No one can say that signatures were forged. Powerful characters in the government are calling up certain MPs. They are promising ministerial positions and are asking them to withdraw via an affidavit. An MP from the Puttalam district has been imposed upon and is being told that he will be given a ministerial position and a nomination. If they think that we cannot do this, then all we can do is take the sword and set a date for the battle. Whether it is 108, 112 or even 20 signatures, that is enough for the no-confidence motion. Instead of squabbling over how many signatures there are, immediately hold a debate on the no-confidence motion and we will show you how to send the Prime Minister home. They are not allowing for the 3 civil representatives to be appointed to the Constitutional Council. Mahinda is not allowing something positive to be done. He did not do it and he is not allowing the people who are willing to do it either. Like the dog in the manger that does not eat hay but does not allow others to eat hay either. This is what has happened. This agenda has been operated from the Abhay Ramaya. There is no need to put up stages when going to temple, is there?
In your developing story, the chief prelate of the Asgiri chapter of the Siam sect, the most venerable Galagama Sri Attadasi Thera, says it is the responsibility of all politicians to ensure that chaos does not arise in the country.
The no-confidence motion against Ranil Wickremesinghe has been submitted, but it is yet to be included in the agenda. As per Parliament operations, it takes about 5 to 6 days to be included in the agenda. The UPFA group meeting will be held tomorrow under the auspices of His Excellency the President. We will hold extensive discussions tomorrow on the no-confidence motion, the 20th Amendment and the time frame in which this will be presented.
In the meantime, Supreme Court Justice Chandra Ekanayake was sworn in as the acting Chief Justice before President Maithripala Sirisena today.
Justice Chandra Ekanayake was appointed acting Chief Justice as Chief Justice K. Sri Pawan is currently overseas. Chandra Ekanayake took oaths as an attorney at law in 1974. She has served in the judiciary since 1979 and was appointed a Supreme Court Justice in 2008. Meanwhile, General Rahid Sharif, the visiting Pakistan Army Chief of Staff, called on President Maithripala Sirisena this afternoon. The President's media division said bilateral and regional security matters were discussed during the meeting held at the Presidential Secretariat. Southern Provincial Minister D.V. Uppal has been remanded until the 10th of this month. He was taken into custody by the Criminal Investigations Department early this evening after being questioned for several hours. Police media spokesperson ASP Ruwan Gunasekara says the provincial minister's arrest was based on charges that included threatening police officers, and D.V. Uppal was summoned to the CID to make a statement this morning. Police say that they summoned D.V. Uppal over a statement he made regarding the police Financial Crimes Investigations Division.
The Chief Prelate of the Asgiri chapter of the Siam sect, the Most Venerable Galagama Sri Attadasi Thera, says it is the responsibility of all politicians to ensure that chaos does not arise in the country.
The Chief Prelate had offered this advice when Plantations Minister and Leader of the House, Lakshman Kiryala, called on him in Kandy this morning.
ඒකමයි ඔය විශ්වාස භංගයට අත්සන් කරන මන්ත්‍රීවරුන්ට තේින්නේ ඒකයි මට කනගාටු. ඔළුවක් පිනනවා ඔබ කරන්නේ. අනිත් එක ඒක අත්සන් කරපු මන්ත්‍රීවරු උතුම් දෙනෙක් අපි හම්බුණා. හම්බෙලා කිව්වා මේ අපි මේ අත්සන් ඉල්ලාස් කරගන්නවා කියලා. ඉතින් ඒ අවශ්‍ය වෙලාවට එයා වැඩ කරන්න කියලා කිව්වා. දැන් පසුගිය
Last week, we nominated 3 persons to be appointed for the Constitutional Council. When the Constitutional Council is appointed, they can make appointments for the Bribery Commission. Who opposed the nominations? The opposition. Why? Because the Constitutional Council cannot be established without these 3 representatives, and as such, the Bribery Commission cannot be appointed. It is the opposition that is trying to stop these investigations.
MP Nama Rajapaksa has been summoned to be present at the Criminal Investigations Department. In a post on Twitter, MP Nama Rajapaksa noted that he had received notice to be present at the CID on the 12th of June to record a statement.
The Supreme Court today provided an explanation on the fields that are affected by the interim injunction that prevents the arrest of former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The court pointed out that the order will only affect the Inspector General of Police, the Director of the Criminal Investigations Department, and the Deputy Inspector General of the Police FCID.
A motion presented by the Attorney General was considered before bench comprising Justice Eva Vanasundara and Sarah Diabru. Presenting facts on behalf of the Attorney General, Deputy Solicitor General Yasanta Kodaguda inquired whether the orders hinder the possibility of arrest for other offences. The bench at this instance very clearly stated that the injunction order preventing the arrest of Gotabaya Rajapaksa only affects the 4 points that are mentioned in the petition. Time was allocated till the 7th of July for all respondents to file objections over the petition.
34 suspects arrested on charges of vandalizing the Jaffna Court premises were released on bail today. Bail was granted when the suspects were produced before the Jaffna magistrate today.
Meanwhile, hearings of the petition seeking bail for former Minister Basil Rajapaksa were postponed at the Colombo High Court today. The court has adjourned until the 15th of June. Meanwhile, the case filed against former Minister Johnson Fernando over the failure to make payment for goods worth more than 5 million rupees which were obtained from Lak Satosa was taken up at the Kurunegala Magistrates Court today. Our reporter says hearing of the case have been postponed to the 9th of November.
Meanwhile, 34 suspects arrested on charges of vandalizing the Jaffna Court premises were released on bail today. Bail was granted when the suspects were produced before the Jaffna magistrates today.
The suspects who were granted bail today allegedly acted violently when the suspects in the rape and murder of a schoolgirl in Punkuduthi, Jaffna were brought to the Jaffna Magistrates Court. They were released on personal bonds of 200,000 rupees each. The magistrate also issued orders for the suspects to report to the Jaffna police on the final Sunday of every month. Court was then adjourned until the 21st of this month.
Power and Energy Minister Partali Champika Ranawaka has announced that tenders will be called in September in order to commercialize the gas deposits discovered in the Mannar Basin.
Minister of Power and Energy Partali Champika Ranawaka was the chief guest at this event held in Colombo today to mark World Ocean Day.
It has been clearly established that there are oil and gas deposits off the coast from the Mannar Peninsula to Nawatuna. Steps are being taken now to tap two of the gas deposits known as Dorado and Barracuda. We hope as a first step to convert all of the Ceylon Electricity Board owned diesel and oil power stations to gas. We are hoping to make a giant investment for this. Our primary target is to bring the gas in Mannar to Kedavala. Through this, we will be able to ensure electricity supply and gas transportation in the Colombo city. We are compiling the legal provisions to establish a state oil corporation. In October, we are hoping to make calls internationally to use the gas resource in Sri Lanka.
Meanwhile, on a tragic note, a woman was killed after being run over by a backhoe machine in Valige Pula, Balangoda.
The police stated that the woman was run over by the backhoe machine while bringing her daughter back from school. The backhoe machine, unable to control its speed, collided with another vehicle and a shop. The police added that the deceased woman's daughter was admitted to the Balangoda Base Hospital after sustaining injuries. Furthermore, police say the driver of the backhoe was arrested.
The National Dangerous Drugs Control Board commenced a program to eradicate the use of recreational drugs in northern and eastern provinces today. A media briefing with regard to the program was held at the auditorium of the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board.
This problem does not only exist in the northeastern province but also in the southern province. During the tenure of previous governments, we saw the manner in which containers of drugs were brought into Sri Lanka. We were able to discover at least one or two containers. Now there is no point talking about the past. Now we have to talk about how we can prevent this. 2. We must find out as to where these drugs are hidden, how they are distributed and what are these drugs. Thirdly, we must create awareness amongst youth with regard to the dangers of these drugs. Prior to 2009, there were no reports of drug usage in the northern province. The use of drugs escalated after 2009. This has become a big problem. When the president visited, we spoke about this. After Vidya's murder, we spoke about this. Made inquiries and held discussions with the central government on cooperating to halt this. That is how we have come to this meeting. For 30 years, they funded their terrorist activity through drug trafficking, human trafficking and money laundering. But the Tiger terrorists only sold drugs to the south and internationally, never in the northern province. The recent gang rape and murder of Vidya saw the involvement of a Swiss Tamil national. A Tamil youth used drugs and committed the crime. So you can see that there is a diaspora connection to the drug problem in the north.
Before you ask your questions, I'd like to comment on what Doctor has said because I'm not accepting a few of those. This is in the last few years. The question I have been posing is, if as he says, the LTTE and the people involved in it have been doing trafficking in the early days, but it was not allowed within the northern province, who took over after 18th of May 2009? How is it that we have allowed things which was not taking place here but it was happening all around the world? How did it find its foothold within the area when the people who were in charge were not the Tigers, were not anybody else but only the armies which had been there? So that is one of the reasons why I have been saying that all these matters have to be taken in its entirety. There are various parts of the armed forces which have been deliberately introducing various aspects of these dangerous drugs.
Although we may have two different opinions on this matter, we do not agree on how the drugs are going to Jaffna. But the problem is the same in the north and the south. Whether we agree or not, it is the youth that is suffering from this.
The Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity having successfully completed an epic island-wide journey to foster national unity, the likes of which has not been witnessed on this island before, will mark its end with a gala event at the Golface Green tomorrow evening. Newsfirst Mavushka Balasuriya joins us now from the Golface Green in Colombo with the latest on the preparations for the closing ceremony.
The Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity, which has been bringing Sri Lankan hearts together brick by brick as it made its way across the country, received the blessings of the Kaluthara Bodhiya this morning. The people of Kaluthara welcomed the Ranbhoomi Rally with much pomp and ceremony. Senior executives of the Capital Maharaj Organisation Limited, officials of Colombo Port City and officials of the National Youth Services Council graced the event held in Kaluthara to flag off the rally.
We started about 30 days ago from the northeast Talemana. I have gone through practically every province and every district of this wonderful country. We believe that in coming together, the country will progress and strive and achieve a better life for each and every one over here.
The people then joined hands to mark the name of Kaluthara on the Ranbhoomi monument. Accepting the wishes of the people of Kaluthara, the Ranbhoomi rally then made its way to Waddua, the second stop for the day. The people of Waddua too waited with great anticipation to welcome the Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity. The people expressed their heartfelt best wishes for the purpose of the Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity. The people of Waddua too expressed their support for sustainable development through national unity, joining hands to gift a brick for the Ranbhoomi monument. This child, who waited with great expectations to welcome the Ranbhoomi rally to Waddua, was given the opportunity to place the brick of Waddua on the main float of the rally in a symbolic gesture of the primary purpose of the rally, ensuring a better future for the nation's children.
From the day it started, he has been saying that he wants to see the Ranbhoomi rally. We couldn't travel that far to see it, so he made his own mini procession using his toys.
Encouraged by the fact that the message of the Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity had reached the most important section of our society, we visited this boy's home in Waddua. With our hearts uplifted with little Oshada's best wishes, the Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity set out for Panadura, the endpoint of today's leg of the journey. The rally received a warm welcome when it reached Panadura, and an event was organized to mark the end of the penultimate day of the rally. The event was graced by officials of the Capital Maharaj Organisation Limited, including Group Directors Shanti Bhagirathan, Rudrani Balasubramaniam and Angelo Patrick.
Capital Maharajas together with Srirasa, Shakti, Newsfirst, and along with the National Youth Council Services and Colombo Port City launched this project in the north in Talamanar Basin, and today we have gone across the country, in most part of the country, bringing together, uniting more than over so many millions of people.
Mother Lanka protects us all, gives us clean water to quench our thirst and provide us food to take away our hunger, disregarding all divisions of religion, race, caste or creed. Let us show our land the due respect and raise our voices to say we are the children of one mother. Let us make unity and equality our life.
The people of Panadura too came together, casting aside all divisions to mark their name on the Ranbhoomi monument. Tomorrow marks the final day of the Ranbhoomi rally. The rally will commence the final leg of the epic journey to foster national unity, peace, harmony and coexistence from the Moratuwa railway station at 9 a.m. tomorrow. The rally is scheduled to reach the Dehiwala railway station at 11 a.m. The Ranbhoomi rally will then travel to the premises of the National Youth Services Council in Maharagama. The rally will then journey to the Golface Green for the closing ceremony.
If the turnout from the rally, from the towns where the people have come in their droves, if anything can be seen from that, this place is going to be absolutely packed, not what you see behind me now. Now, of course, tomorrow, the penultimate stop is going to be in Maharagama, and there's going to be a procession towards the Golface Green, where they're expected to arrive around 6:37 tomorrow evening. And there's going to be festivities. There's going to be a musical show, the Ranbhoomi Unity Night musical show. And I implore you, I urge you, make your way here. See what we have been doing for the past month, for over a month, bringing together Sri Lankans, regardless of caste, religion or race. Bringing them together as one nation, as one Sri Lanka. So come by tomorrow to Golface Green to see the culmination of this fantastic initiative and rally. But for now, Madhushka Balasurya reporting for News First.
The final rites for senior lawyer Stanley Senasinghe, the late father of Deputy Justice Minister Sujiba Senasinghe, will be observed on Wednesday. Senior lawyer Stanley Senasinghe passed away early last morning.
A large crowd arrived at Misty Haven residence in Askeria today to pay their last respects to the late Stanley Senasinghe. Stanley Senasinghe passed away at the age of 77 while receiving treatment at the Kandy General Hospital. Born on the 21st of March 1938, Stanley Senasinghe was a graduate of the Peradeniya and Colombo universities. He was the husband of retired senior lecturer Upamalika Senasinghe and a loving father of 3 children. Stanley Senasinghe raised 3 sons, specialist Dr. Namal Senasinghe, chartered accountant Chaminda Senasinghe and Deputy Justice Minister, Attorney at Law Sujiba Senasinghe.
A cultural centre constructed with grants from the Decentralised Fund of MP J. Sri Ranga, the General Secretary of the Citizens Front, was declared open in Norwood, Hatton yesterday.
The cultural centre at the Venture Estate in Norwood was declared open under the auspices of MP J. Sri Ranga yesterday. MP J. Sri Ranga received a warm welcome at the event, which was graced by a large gathering. When I came here today, they gave me many garlands. But in the past, while this building was being built, I came here about 40 times and there were no garlands. Through this cultural centre, children can receive an education. Religious schools can operate here. The people in the estates do not need to spend 60,000 rupees and go to Hatton for weddings anymore. You can do it at this centre in your estate for free. The landlords celebrate their children's birthdays with grand events. The labourers in the estates too have been given that opportunity through this centre.
First up on Sports First, a media briefing was held today at the Sri Lanka Cricket Headquarters in Colombo on the future of granting contracts to players. Siddharth Vettamuni, chairman of the Sri Lanka Cricket Interim Committee, elaborated.
Contracted players at the top. Payments have actually increased from 96 million to 130 million. 210 first-class club cricketers will average about 600,000 rupees per annum. There is a 300% increase in payments for premier first class players. We must show a difference at every level. Premier player must want to and aspire to play at the next level. But the whole key is play and earn, not sit and wait with the paycheck coming. You play, you earn. You play, you earn at every level.
Yesterday, Nimali Liyanarachi won Sri Lanka its first Asian medal in the women's 800 meters in 22 years at the Asian Athletics Championship in China. This is not the only reason that Nimali's victory is significant. Sports First visited her home in Suryawava, Hambantota.
This is the environment where Nimali Leonarachi grew up. The Mahavalikanda Ara area is a remote village located about 8 miles from Suryavavar in Hammantota. The merciless sun which parches the earth and the numerous hardships that accompany life here provided Nimali with the fuel that propelled her onto the international stage. Nimali learnt her letters at the Vavagama Junior School, which does not even have a proper sports ground. But it was here that coach Sujit Abesekara identified her talent and encouraged her enthusiasm for sports. The youngest in a family, including 2 brothers and a sister, Nimali lost her father at a very young age.
It was the brother that worked in the fields. There wasn't much work back then either. They mostly worked as hard labourers, and that is how she became forward. She used to run in the annual inter-house meets every year. It was Sujit sir that spoke to the principal of the school and encouraged her in sports.
Nimali, who appeared on the national sporting stage with exceptional performances in the 800 metres and 1500 metres, went on to show great promise in the 3000 metres steeplechase and the 5000 metres.
In truth, this school does not even have a proper sports field to bring forth an athlete of her caliber. Even now, the children are playing in a jungle area that we call a playground.
At one point, Nimali was forced to reconsider her future in sports due to economic hardships and the lack of benefits for sports persons. However, upon receiving the opportunity to serve in the Sri Lanka Air Force, Nimali returned to the track in the 400 metres hurdles and 800 metres events. Yesterday, Nimali lost out on the opportunity to break the national women's 800 metres record set by Shriyani Dhammika Manike 23 years ago by a single second.
I missed the Sri Lanka record by 1 point. The record is 2 minutes 38.5 seconds. I ran it in 2 minutes 39.4 seconds. I was not thinking of the timing. I was praying for a medal.
Is it not both the responsibility and duty of the country's sports authorities to ensure that our athletes who rise from much hardships to bring glory to the nation are duly rewarded and encouraged to achieve greater international victories? Healthy oceans, healthy planet. Now this is the theme of World Oceans Day, which is being marked across the globe today.
The 5 oceans of the world, the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian, Southern and Arctic Oceans, make up 71% of the surface of our planet and are at the center of the web of life.
We leave you tonight with the selected images from the world's oceans, which we believe highlight the importance of conservation. I'm Stephanie Lazarus.
And I'm Shane Silva. Take care and good night.